Good afternoon, Patriots. This is Praying Medic, and this is my QAnon thread for December 21st, 2018. Those of you following along at home can find Q posts on several different websites, including qmap.pub. If you have an Android phone and you'd like to get Q updates on your mobile device, you can get Q drops or Q alerts in the Play Store. Those programs are not available for iPhones. My theme is the 16-year plan to destroy America. Q has only posted twice today. One of them does have a significant backstory that I want to explain, so this will be good information for people who are somewhat new to following Q. All right, we have this post from this morning, 8:42 Arizona time. Q posted it's headlines from Washington Post, and there's been some controversy about this because it's from Max Boot. And I don't know that these headlines are actually what were originally posted. I don't have an answer on that. A lot of people have been asking questions, but Q posted this meme. It's about Max Boot and his two different takes on Syria and Trump's foreign policy. Q asks, why do people trust the fake news media? Anons can play this game all day long. Compare and contrast. Fake, fake, fake. Q then posted a link to a tweet by Hillary Clinton, who couldn't resist taking a swing at the president after he announced that he would be bringing our troops home from Syria. Hillary wrote, actions have consequences, and whether we're in Syria or not, the people who want to harm us are there and at war. Isolationism is weakness. Empowering ISIS is dangerous. Playing into Russia and Iran's hands is foolish. This president is putting our national security at grave risk. Empowering ISIS is dangerous. So Q responded to Hillary's tweet with this, and I'll just read it to you. There's a link to her tweet at the top. Hussein called ISIS the JV team. Did ISIS form on Hussein's watch? Did Hussein take care of business or allow them to expand? How long did it take POTUS to eradicate and destroy ISIS? The American people are waking up to the truth. ISIS actually was a very small faction back in, I think, 1999. ISIS didn't have any real significant following until 2014, well into Obama's administration. There's a link here to an article about 197 military officers who were forced out under Obama in a 5-year period. Q then asks, why did Hussein attempt to destroy our military and, in parentheses, weaken? What is the 16-year plan to destroy America? Why did Hussein install traitors at the highest level of our government? Think DOJ, think FBI, think CIA, think national security. Why did Hussein bring people into the White House who hate America and what we stand for? What years did Hillary serve as Secretary of State? What years did ISIS expand? Why did Hussein put restrictions on U.S. military command regarding the ability to attack targets at will? White House direct approval required for each action. Facts, not fiction. Blind sheep follow. Eyes on target. Q. Hillary was Secretary of State, I believe, from 2009 to 2013. She was replaced by John Kerry. And that is when ISIS began its spread. People like John Brennan, Valerie Jarrett. So Q is suggesting that there was a planned infiltration of the government by certain people. All right. What is the 16-year plan to destroy America? It is found in this post by Q from January. It is very long. It has a lot of code, a lot of brackets, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it section by section. Rather than read the whole thing, it won't make any sense. So I'm going to go through this bit by bit and explain the 16-year plan to destroy America. So we begin with this post, and it's from January 21st. And it starts out, will Sessions drop the hammer? 1 of 22. I believe 1 of 22 refers to 1 of 22 open investigations by the DOJ, but I could be wrong. I haven't had a good decode on that. I'm going to skip the top part below the red line. Begins the 16-year plan to destroy America. Hussein, in brackets 8 years, install rogue ops, leak classified intel, military assets, cut funding to military, command away from generals, launch good guy takedown, internal remove, Valerie Jarrett, in parentheses, sniffer, SAP sell-off. In the 16-year plan to destroy America, Barack Obama would have 8 years to accomplish certain strategic objectives, and then Hillary would have 8 years to finish it up. The goal of globalism is to eradicate international borders and create a borderless global community. That necessitates the destruction of individual nation states. Since America has stood in the way of globalism by virtue of its well-defined international borders, a plan was developed to weaken our nation and bring it under the rule of globalists. Our military plays a key role in protecting our national sovereignty and borders, so that had to go. Under Obama, the military would be weakened and compromised. Below is how they plan to do it. So I gave you that first section. You install rogue operators in the military and destroy it from within. You leak classified intelligence. Part of that was done through Hillary's server. Actually, Q has suggested that CrowdStrike was used to facilitate the leaking of classified information from Hillary's server in a pay-for-play kind of operation where foreign governments would pay CrowdStrike. Those donations would eventually be funneled probably through Perkins Coie, and then they would in turn get classified information. You have key military officers killed or removed from power. You cut funding, you undermine military command, you take down good guys like Flynn. Valerie Jarrett, sniffer, detects the people who would be targeted. SAP sell-off. SAP, Special Access Programs. It's been alleged that the Obama administration illegally sold SAPs to foreign nations. July of 2016, FBI Anon showed up on 4chan and provided some information basically saying that Hillary was known to have special access programs on her server and she had them illegally. Here's a link to an article from Business Insider confirming that some of the emails on Hillary's private server were actually special access programs. FBI Anon said that Hillary didn't have authorization to have the SAPs, just having them would make her guilty of treason, and that she did sell them to foreign donors. In the next section of that long post, Q continues laying out the plan to undermine and destroy the military. Snowden, open source, PRISM, Keyscore, those are the programs that Snowden leaked that the NSA used for surveillance. So in parentheses, we have catastrophic to U.S. military versus bad actors worldwide, plus clowns, minus no such agency. Target, weakened conservative base, IRS, mainstream media. Open border, flood with illegals to give Democrats a win in the elections. ISIS, MS-13, fund and install. In parentheses, fear, targeting removal, domestic assets, etc. Blind eye, North Korea, nuke build. Class 1, 2, and 3. Blind eye, Iran, fund and supply. Some of that is a little self-explanatory, but I will go over that to give you a little bit more information. Q said that the leaks by Edward Snowden of the NSA's PRISM and Keyscore programs were designed to undermine military intelligence. The NSA is a part of the Defense Department. The leak really caused a credibility problem for the NSA, and it did give the CIA a slight advantage, at least perception in the public. There is a war going on between the NSA and the CIA. They compete for resources, and they have competing agendas. By the way, Snowden was trained by the CIA, and he was inserted into the NSA to get access to Keyscore and PRISM and then leak them, make them public. Interesting drop by Q from November 9th. Closing act, and in this drop here we have CIA, each in brackets. Dismantled, impossible to clean. Operations will be given to no such agency, Q. So Q has hinted that the CIA is going to be dismantled. It's too corrupt to clean. I would imagine Gina Haspel is aware of the plan to shut down the CIA, or she would not have been chosen as the CIA director. Obama and Hillary plan to decrease the effectiveness of the military intelligence while giving more power to the CIA. Brennan's development of the supercomputer, along with Clapper, was their attempt to get superiority over the NSA. This is an article from the Washington Post about the IRS admitting that it had targeted conservatives for harassment. And of course, we know that the Mockingbird media loves to make fun of and harass and tell lies about conservatives. So that's part of the plan to destroy America. Open borders are intended to help increase Democrat voter numbers and bring in MS-13 and ISIS operatives through the southern border. That causes a further decay of society. They can also be used as disposable assassins when needed. Obama turned a blind eye to North Korea's development of nuclear weapons. His strategy was called strategic patience. It allowed Kim Jong-un to develop medium-range missiles and nuclear weapon technology. Same is true for Iran. Allowing rogue nations to possess weapons of mass destruction would create war eventually, international tension, and eventually would lead to the removal of international borders. The money that Obama sent to Iran, the $1.7 billion, Q is saying has helped to accelerate the development of weapons of mass destruction in Iran, an important step in the 16-year plan. Q has previously suggested that Obama intended to supply uranium to Iran and Syria covertly as part of the Uranium One sale. That uranium was officially going to go to Russia, but it seems as though our Senator McCain helped divert some of that uranium secretly to Iran and to Syria. And of course, radioactive isotopes have a unique fingerprint and they can be traced. This drop from Q in April was zeroing in on what was happening in Iran. Where did the uranium one material end up? Is the material traceable? Yes. Define cover. What if the uranium one material ended up in Syria? What would be the primary purpose? Sum of all fears. In the movie, where did the material come from? What country? What would happen if Russia or another foreign state supplied uranium to Iran or Syria? War. What does uranium one provide? Cover. So Q in this drop was suggesting that the cover story was we're going to sell uranium to Russia. Secretly, we're going to give some to Iran and Syria because they needed to start a war. They needed rogue nations to develop nuclear weapons so they could start a war. And they would blame Russia for selling them the uranium because it would be traced back to them. Continuing with the next section, we have blind eye, Iran in brackets, fund and supply, blind eye class 23 through 41. I don't know what that means. Stage SC in brackets AS 187. We have Uranium One, fund and supply, Iran and North Korea, plus reduce U.S. capacity, kill the NSA, in parentheses, prevent space dominance, allow bad actors to take down military satellites, worldwide secure comms, install weapons of mass destruction, risk of EMP space, origin, helpless, class 1 through 99. All right. Staging a favorable Supreme Court was an important part of the plan. 187 is the California Penal Code for murder. Whenever you see that in a Q drop, 187, just think murder. For some gangs, having it tattooed on your body is part of being accepted in the gang. SC, Supreme Court. AS is Antonin Scalia. Q has often suggested that Scalia was actually murdered. There was no autopsy done when he was found dead. A lot of people have questioned why an autopsy was not done, including CNN. The Uranium One transfer and the money sent to Iran helped fund their nuclear weapons program, and the Uranium One transfer also depleted supplies for the U.S. Obama's neglect of NASA was strategic. It allowed our military to be rendered ineffective, allowed the bad guys to take down satellites, and to put into orbit weapons of mass destruction, including possibly electromagnetic pulse weapons. This is an article from The Hill about how Obama ruined NASA space exploration. As we all know, President Trump announced in June the sixth branch of the military, Space Force, and it is going to be used for defense purposes. One report estimated that an EMP attack on the U.S. could kill 90% of our population in 1 year. President Trump is the first president who is taking steps to protect the power grid from EMP weapons. All right, in this next section, we have class 1 through 99. I don't know what that means. We have Hillary, in brackets 8. It's given her 8 years once she was going to be elected. She would be responsible for starting World War III. In brackets, we have death and weapons, real, war, fake, and controlled. And then in brackets, population growth, control, pocket billions of dollars. Eliminate final rogue ops within government and military. Kill the economy, starve, need, and enslave people. Open borders, revised constitution. Ban sale of firearms, Second Amendment removal. Install people on their team in the Supreme Court as justices. Legal wins, ACR. In the next part, we have install on-team Supreme Court justices. Legal wins across spectrum of challengers. As an example, Scalia murdered. Removal of Electoral College. The popular vote is easier to manipulate. You can get illegal votes, and George Soros voting machines will also help them. Limit and remove funding of military. Closure of U.S. military installations worldwide, Germany first. Destruction of opposing mainstream media like Fox and other news outlets. Censoring. Class 1 through 59. As I said, I don't know what that means. Pure evil. Fortunately for us, Hillary lost the election, and President Trump is reversing the evil that was done to destroy our country. That is all I have for today's update. So be encouraged, patriots. Keep us in prayer. Keep Q and the team in prayer. Keep the president in prayer. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing this on social media. That is all I have for you on this update. This is Paramedic signing off. I will catch you on the next broadcast.